So wake up every morning with the thought that something wonderful is about to happen. With this famous quote, I, Rachit Agarwal, Assistant Professor at Center for Management Development, wishes you a very good morning and welcome our respected President, Dr. K.N. Modi Foundation, Professor Dr. D.K. Modi sir, our Chief Mentor, Professor Dr. R.K. Khandal sir, our Vice President, Sir Dr. K.N. Modi Foundation, Captain Rajiv Saxena sir, our Director sir, Center for Management Development, Dr. Amitabh Roy sir, and all the dignitaries of Dr. K.N. Modi Foundation. Our esteemed alumni, Mr. Sachin Kumar, who is CMD alumnus of batch 2017-19, currently associated with Square Yards as Senior Business Development Manager at Dubai. All the faculty members, students, and all eminent guests for this webinar. As we all are seeing that every business unit's corporate firm, academic institute has came across to this online platform and is taking this pandemic crisis as an opportunity to learn something new. And they are also growing up with all together. Our foundation has also decided to start the webinar series in such a unique way. And I also feel privileged that I become a part of it. So once again, thank you so much, sir. In order to that, today's webinar topic is related to the operation management, that is plant location, layout, recent challenges in operation management, which has been designed by our first year students, and our 4 students will present their views about the topic. Later on, they will also discuss some case studies. At the end of this webinar, I would call our alumni to share his views and opinion about the topic. Now, before moving ahead, I want to enlighten the topic in my words. We know the enterprises and organizations industries involved in the manufacturing a variety of goods. Their primary goal is to manufacture the product and provide it to their customer in such a way that they are in position to provide these products at a very lowest possible price with the best possible quality so that they can effectively give the competition and create their customer base. Nowadays, the production and operation management is not only deal with some production activities. I mean, it's not just like to take the raw materials from the sources and process it and then get the final goods for the consumption, but also related with operating activities, like we can see some marketing activities, some related the HR activities such as recruiting and training the workers as well, managing the cost factor, distribution channel, and you know the supply chain management, and many more things are which comes under the operation management. Here, one of the most important factor that plays a very vital role for the manufacturing firm, or we can say for retail sector especially, that is location. Location of the business or any production unit supports in the establishment and also in the growth of the company. Today's customer likes what he see. As you know, the very famous line of the marketing says what you see is on sale. So it's completely suit what I am saying. Now, the second important factor is layout. Layout is, as we know, the structure of anything, like we can say the framework or blueprint of the any production process or production unit. Now manufacturing units decide or design their layout very carefully, because the layout is the only one that defines how the production will process and where we are lacking. So it is also important. Now I think that's enough from my side. Now I would like to invite our today's presenter, student presenter Akanksha Srivastav, Amit Agrahari, Vikas Mishra, and Anupam Rajvansh. They will present their views and knowledge about the topic one by one. Now it's over to you, Akanksha.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, one and all present here. My name is Akanksha Shrivastava, and today I'm here to present my topic on history of production management and introduction to plant location. As it is said by Mr. Henry Ford, he is about the importance of operation management, that of course it is not the employer who pay wages, he only handles the money. It is the product that pay wages, and it is the management that arranges the production so that the product may pay the wages. So as in the operation management, I'm going to change the slide. I will discuss about the content. So in this webinar, we are going to cover some of the main topics related with the plant location, plant layout, and challenges in operation management. first will be discussed by me is the history, evolution, and operation management, plant location introduction, factors of plant location, plant layout introduction, types of plant layout, challenges in operation management, and some practical case studies discussing about all these. So, in the operation management came to prominence in the 20th century, but its roots can be traced in the 18th and 19th centuries. The history evolution, the industry evolution, now also known as the first industrial revolution, was the transition to new manufacturing process in Europe and United States. In the period from about 1760 to sometime between 1820 and 1840. The Industrial Revolution began in Great Britain, and many of the technological developments were of British origin. In the pre-industrial revolution, one of the first people to address the issue of operation management was the Scottish philosopher and the father of modern economics, Adam Smith. In 1776, Smith wrote in his book, The Wealth of a Nation, in which he describes the division of labor. According to Smith, if workers divided their tasks, then they could produce their product more efficiently than if same number of workers each build product from start to finish. This concept will later be used by Henry Ford with the introduction of the assembly line. In the post-industrial revolution, during the industrial revolution, machinery allowed factories to grow in capacity and greatly increase their output. Despite this growth, there was considerable inefficiency in production. Two individuals helped to overcome this inefficiency in the early 20th century, Frederick Winslow Taylor and Ford. Taylor developed a scientific approach for operating management, collecting data about production, analyzing this data, and using it to make improvements to operation. Ford increased efficiency in production by introducing assembly line production and improved the supply chain through just-in-time delivery. In the post-World War II, from 1939 to 1945, there was a technological development. During the Second World War, created new possibilities for managers looking to improve their operation, specifically the development of computational technology, allow for a greater degree of data to be analyzed by firms. The ability of computer have to increase exponentially, allow for a high degree of data analysis and communication. Modern producers are now able to track their inventory from raw material to the production and delivery. In modern days, quality management systems are popular in today's operation management. Quality management is a system for mapping, improving, and monitoring operation process. A variety of quality management systems are in use among top firms, mainly in Japan. The most system, the ISO system and Six Sigma. These systems aim to increase the efficiency of business processes. Although operation management has typically dealt with the manufacturing processes, the growth of the service industry has created a field of service operation management. I will introduce about the plant location. Location of an industry is an important management decision. It is a two-step decision. First, choice of region, general area or region, and a second, choice of site within the area selected. Location decision is based on the organization long-term strategy such as technological, marketing, resources availability, and financial strategies. Plant location refers to the choice of the region where men, material, money, machinery, and equipment are brought together for setting up a business or factory. A plant is a place where the cost of the product is kept too low in order to maximize gain. Identifying an ideal location is very crucial. It should always maximize the net advantage and must minimize the unit cost of production and distribution. Plant location decisions are very important because once the plant is located at a particular site, then the organization has to face the pros and cons of the initial business. The location of the company site is a decision that could incur on high cost that should not be taken lightly. Some expected rent and transportation of goods, but other unexpected loss of sales resulting from lack of presence to their market. Plant location is important because of the following things. The location influence plant layout facility needed, and location influence capital investment and operating cost. Now I will discuss about the factor affecting of plant location. Before that, I will tell tell you about something about the location importance and technological importance. As it is said by Mr. Jeff Bezos, the three most important things in retail are location, 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 and the three most important things for a consumer business are technology, technology, and technology. As we are facing this situation, current situation due to COVID-19, we are now really knowing the importance of today's technological developments, as it is very important for the business person as an employer or as a student. So now I will cover the factor affecting of plant location. The decision regarding selecting a location need a balance of several factors. These factors can influence the business in long run. So in the first, I will discuss about the land location cost. There are several things we need take care while selecting land, like moderate taxes and absence of restricting laws, a favorable living condition, and a standards keeping in view the availability of medical, educational facilities, housing, fire services, and cost of living, etc. Nearness to market. Nearness of market for the finished goods not only reduces transportation cost but also render quick service to the customer. If the plant is located far away from the market, then the chances of spoiling and breakage of products is get higher. If the industry is nearer to the market, then it can grasp market share by offering quick services. Availability, nearness to suppliers refer to the availability of raw materials. Is the most important factor in plant location decision. Usually manufacturing units where there is the conversion of raw material into finished goods is the main task, then such organization should be located in a place where the raw material availability is maximum and cheap. The transportation facility. In order to bring the raw material to the firm or carrying the finished goods to the market, transport facilities are very important. Depending on the size of the product or raw material, a suitable transportation is necessary, such as roads, water, air, and rail. Here the transportation cost highly increase the cost of production. Such organization can not compete with the rival firms. Here the point considered is transportation cost must be kept low. A further factors affecting of plant location can be discussed by Lahari. Over to you, Amit.
Thank you, Akanksha. Good morning, sir. All my batchmates. My name is Amit Agraj. Now I will be continuing factor affecting plant location. You know that business are not run by computer or machine. They are run by people. So labor is the power of any industry to the transfer raw material into finished product using equipment and other skilled and stable labor force. And other most important factor which influence the plant location decision is the availability of labor, the, the combination of the adequate number of labor with suitable skill and responsible labor wages. can highly benefit the farm. However, labor-intensive farm should be selected the plant location which the nearer of source of manpower. And next point, availability of fuel and power. Unavailability of fuel and power is the major drawback in selecting a location for farm. Fuel and power are necessary for almost all the manufacturing unit. So locating the farm nearer to the coal beds and power industries can be highly reduce the wastage of effort, money and time due to the availability of fuel and power. Now comes to the next point, availability of communication and banking facilities. Communication like internet, telephone, fax and mobile. Plant location should be such as where all these facilities are easily accessible. Facility of the post office is a very necessary for communication. And banking facility is the backbone for the industries. Without this, all monetary function will be stopped. Facility of the ATM is a highly feasible near the plant facility which help the employee in withdraw their incentives. And last point, government and legal benefit. Government policies, while selecting a location for the plant, is a very important to know that local existed government policies such as licensing policies, institutional finance, government subsidies, government benefit associated with stable unit in the urban areas or rural areas, and etc. And legal aspect are also to be the considered while selecting the site. Environment norms and other law must be followed at the site. So legal aspects are important while selecting the site. I will change this slide. I will discuss about plant layout. Plant layout. These are three words used in plant layout. First, locating machine, high quality and low cost. The plant layout is a technique of locating different machine and plant services within the factory so that output can be available with the high quality and low cost. Change this slide. Oh, sorry. Plant layout is the plan of an optimum arrangement of the facility, including the personal operating equipment, storage space, material handling equipment, and all other supporting service, along with the design of the structure to the contain all these facilities. Change this slide. Types of plant layout. There are 4 types of plant layout. Product layout, second is process layout, and third is fixed layout, and last is fourth point, combined layout. Continuous production comes under product layout, and job order production comes under process layout, and assembly production comes under fixed layout, and last batch production comes under combined layout. I will discuss about step by step in next slide. Please change this slide. Product layout or line layout. Product layout very popular in continuous production. Only one of the types of product is produced in the product layout. Machines are arranged in the proper sequence in the product layout. All parts, sub assemblies, etc. are started at right time so as to be ready at the required time and kept moving until the finished product is available at the end of assembling line. This arrangement is also known as the synthetic system of the manufacturing. These are best example of Coca-Cola manufacturing company and Yakult. It is the start sub-stage. It means firstly on empty bottle will come first. Coca-Cola will be added to it. After that will be move forward next other stage will come. A cap will be applied on it here. After the wrapper and sticker will be applied in this. These are example of product layout or line layout. Change this slide. Process or function layout. Under this arrangement, each department or section, it is responsible for carrying out of particular process and and not a particular product. As an underline type layout, there are similar operation in the each department or section, and in this similar equipment and similar machine are the group together. This is a very useful where low volume of production is required. We can see that diagram form. This is the section of lathing, and is the section of milling and drilling and grading, and it is will be appreciate assembling. All machine are put in the group, and whatever product are the one by one will be go to the particular machine, and finally will be meet to the assembling. Change this slide. Fixed position layout. Fixed position layout, a production technique used to assemble product that are too large, bulky, or fragile to safely or effectively move to a location for competition. In a fixed position layout, personal supplies and equipment are brought to the site where the product being moved through a assembly line as a assembling station. A fixed position layout is the appropriate for a product that is too large or too heavy to move. For example, battleships are not produced in an assembling line. For service other reasons, meaning detected the fixed position. And change this slide. Combined layout. Many situations call for mixture of the three main layout types. These mixture are commonly called combiner or hybrid layout. For example, one form many utilize a process layout for a majority of its process along with an assembling in one area. Alternately, a firm may utilize a fixed position layout for the assembling of the final product, but use assembling line to produce the component and subsequent sub-assemblies that make up the final product. Example, aircraft. These are four types of plant layout. Now I will like to call Vikas Mishra. He will continue with next slide.
So, what are the major challenges in production line? Cultural over product of are how we get the team up to speed and performing their duties quickly and successfully. These are the big challenges going to management. How do we best engage employees so that they remember their knowledge and skills learned training skills able to it once they are at their desk when they are doing their duties, when their tasks.
So here I have mentioned some major challenges in operation management. See, the concern over productivity with operational cost, need to improve process quality. So here, lots of challenges nowadays facing by the operation management and the operation managers, because as in this era, the as in the COVID-19 situation also, people are facing lots of challenges in terms of technical challenges, in terms of productivity challenges, and the cost factor also affecting the operation management. So now here the first point says the concern over productivity with operational cost. Like operation manager should manage the operational cost with the competitive market. Next is need to improve process quality. With the minimum cost, we also have to provide the best quality in the market, because again, if we want to gain the competitive advantage in the market, so again we need to make sure the quality should be at par and as per the standard. Information and communication technology in operation management, again it is the very important, as the earlier has discussed by our students. Information and communication plays a very vital role in the development of any industry or any company. Like someone says the communication is the blood, or we can blood for any company. If proper communication hierarchy in hierarchy channel in the company, so that everyone can use a flow, everyone can communicate with the flow of the message. Ethical conduct also, nowadays people should follow the ethical conduct very seriously, because in many companies we are seeing that they are not following the proper conduct which is designed by the government of the India government or the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. So ethical conduct also plays an important role, because again the mission and vision of any particular company decides how should we going in the future. Worried about customer satisfaction, again this is the ultimately goal of any company, that to satisfy the customer. Customer satisfaction again plays the important role in the graph chart, or we can say the Z graph of the company. If any company wants to grow exponentially, the company should make sure about the customer satisfaction by the product. Please change the slide, Anupam. Now these are some case studies which will be discussed by our student Anupam Rajvansh. So let's continue, Anupam.
Thank you, sir. Now I will discuss the case study regarding the topic we had heard about. The case study is about the Hardcore Cafe. It is a chain of themed restaurant founded in 1971 by Isaac Tigrit and Peter Morton in London. In 1979, the cafe began covering its wall with rock and roll memorabilia, a tradition which expanded to other in the chain. The current CEO of Hardcore Rock Cafe is Jim Allen. These are the few factors these are the few evaluation tables factor analysis which works by Hardcore Cafe. Hardcore Cafe use the evaluation table tool for site selection. This is the use for a specific location using relevant factors such as demography, transportation, tourist presence, market in the area, and cluster of similar business. With the support of this tool, Hardcore Cafe has opened 180 restaurants, 24 hotels, and 11 casinos around the world, guaranteeing success and assuring a positive effect on the Hardcore Cafe image, since it usually committed to a location for not less than the 10 years. In approx 10 years, Hardcore Cafe opens cafes almost at 7 cities. First is Bangalore, second Pune, third New Delhi, fourth Hyderabad, fifth Mumbai, and sixth is Gurugram, and last one is Kolkata. And now comes to the second case study part, which is the most important part of our this topic, because it is through this we will analyze how we locate the plant and how are the three major factors which we have to follow in the plant location part. BCI wants to establish a new plant production in Asia, and for that they were finding the most appropriate location in Asia. And by this location selection by done in the BCI based on three types of factors. First one is cost, second one is quality of the business environment, and the third one is risk. Here the risk is measured as inflation risk, currency exchange rate risk, transparency risk, and natural disaster risk, etc. Through this, they will easily measure how the factors to be located, and these are the implementation how the place has been decided through these factors. How they finalize the location. The location selection approaches of BCI has been applied fully in this project. After a kick-off phase in which the project profiles, in this project profile, the size of the investment, labor profile, real estate requirements, manufacturing technology has been defined. And an initial high-level long list analysis has been conducted. This was done at a country level, including countries such as China, Malaysia, Vietnam, Thailand, and Singapore. The outcome of this first assessment was decision to focus the site selection further on China. In the next phase, using a detailed set of cost, quality, and risk factor, a comparison with made of relevant regions within China. As the result, they got they got and gathering all the information and important relevant information by research. By doing each and every survey, it found it that eastern part of China is the most suitable area to establish a new production plant in whole Asia through the three relevant factors as we discussed before. And now comes to the last case study part, which is most relevant to the operation management, and which is on which case study names PepsiCo. In this case study, we need to understand how they come at the second largest food and beverages company in the world. Through many factors they have to come, and through how many they are followed by 10 strategies. Through this, they come at the second largest food beverage company. These are the shoes basics. Basically we are discussed here. Now we started. The first point is, according to the case study, procurement of raw material. The raw material used in manufacturing PepsiCo's beverages and food products were apple, pineapple juice, and all the relevant products, all the relevant foods which we are having. Raw material are including packaging material, plastic, resins, and polythene, tetraplates, and polypropylene resin using for plastic beverages, bottles, film packaging for snacks, foods, aluminum for can, and also fuels are natural gases. And the third and second point is manufacturing operations. PepsiCo employed many techniques as its production facilities when it realized that production flows was not smooth due to the frequent breakdown of machines and mismanaged inventory. Production at PepsiCo's plant began with the unloading of empty bottles from the truck via convey, and they being moved to the depletizer. And the third point is distribution network and logistic management. PepsiCo used different distribution strategies to bring its product to the market, depending upon product characteristics, local trade practices, and customers needed. It delivered fragrant and perishable products, which were less likely to be impulsive purchase from its manufacturing plants and warehouses to customer warehouse and retail stores. PepsiCo used third-party food service and vending distribution to distribute its snacks, foods, and beverages to restaurants, schools, stadiums, businesses, and other locations. And last, how PepsiCo's make relations to the with retailers. PepsiCo's also made its supply chain better for establishing a collaborative relationship with its retailers. One such examples with its relationship with Wegmans retails. PepsiCo approached Wegmans with a proposal for the Phyto Lace line, which controls 2/5 of the world market for salty snacks and PepsiCo's product. Now comes to the strategies part. How they come the second food beverages company. They used to follow their 10th strategies, and now comes over. And the PepsiCo's the first is decisions of goods and services. The objective in this strategy decisions area of operation management is to match goods and services, organizational capacity, and market demand and preferences. PepsiCo's operation management does so through make market-based development and product innovation. Example, trends such as consumers' lifestyle. The research of such research are used to determine future direction of PepsiCo's product, such as future variants of Pepsi. And the second is quality management. This strategic decisions area has the objective of optimizing quality based on business and consumer expectations. PepsiCo's operation management aims to provide the high quality product under the company's human sustainability goals. For example, new PepsiCo's products are usually improved variants such as low calories Pepsi products and less salty Fruito-Lays products. And third is process and capacity design. Capacity utilization and process efficiency are the emphasis in this strategic decisions. Area of operation management, PepsiCo's aims to maximize the productivity cost ratio in this area. For example, the company manufacturing facilities are designed with high output assembly lines. Also, many of PepsiCo's product process are automated for optimal efficiency. And the major point is location. Companies own and facilitates partner own facilities in strategic location, such as operation management approach is based on the strategic decisions area objective of maximal reach to target market. In PepsiCo case, such facilities are located in key areas near most retailers. PepsiCo is especially interested in large retail outlets and food service establishments which high sale volume. And the fifth point is layout, design, and strategy. As we discussed earlier, and now will be discussed through a case study with PepsiCo. Efficient movement of people's material and information is the operation management concern in this strategic decisions area. In PepsiCo case, spaces are designed with efficiency and productivity in mind. For example, layout design in PepsiCo production uh, facilitates is centered on the principles of assembly line production and total quality market management, and here the mean as TQM. And the sixth point is job design and human resources. PepsiCo's human resources management addresses this strategy designs area through a combination of global corporate HR practices and divisional HR practices. The main management objectives in this area is to ensure the education of PepsiCo's workforce. For example, PepsiCo workforce has an HR policy and job design process for Frito Lays, and separate HR policy and job design process for Querca Foods. However, all of these policies and process comply with PepsiCo's corporate standard and talent sustainability policies. And the seventh point is supply chain management. This strategy decisions area focuses on operation management practices that optimize the supply chain to match demand for material and intermediary products. PepsiCo's approaches is to diversify and distribution its supply chain hub. For example, the company operates supply chain hubs for each regional market. In this way, PepsiCo optimizes response time to fluctuation in demand. And the eighth point is inventory management. PepsiCo's inventory management emphasizes automation, adequacy, scheduling, and cost minimization at the key objective in this strategy. Area of operation management, PepsiCo does so through computerized monitoring of inventory. Manager can across real-time data to help them make decisions. They are using the EQ factor in inventory management system. Now comes to the ninth part of that is scheduling. Facility and human resources scheduling are the primary concern in this strategy decisions. Area of operation management. PepsiCo's facility management implement human resources scheduling based on local data. However, automation scheduling is also used for some of PepsiCo's production space schedules. And the 10th and the last point is maintenance. PepsiCo maintenance concerns are widely varied considering the company's wide array of product and markets. This strategic decisions area of operation management focus on adequate workforce and other resources that grow with the business. PepsiCo continues to hire individually and promote for within the organization to grow its workforce. facilities are expanded, constructed, or acquired to support PepsiCo's growth. And now I would like to invite Sir to continue with the webinar. Over to you, Sir.
Thank you, Anupam. And you guys have wonderfully presented your views related to the plant location, layout, and with the support of some case studies, especially the last one that was PepsiCo's strategy. Now, I think it's a high time to invite our esteemed alumni, Mr. Sachin Kumar. He is currently working with Square Yards as a Senior Business Development Manager at Dubai. He has achieved various certifications at national and international level as well. He has been awarded as a best speaker for table topic by Toastmasters International, and he has also been awarded for a first rank achiever batch 2017-19 by our administrative sir Meghraj sir, and then got the international placement. Now it's over to you, Sachin.
Uh, Thank you so much, sir. I'm really overwhelmed with the welcoming speech. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I would like to start by saying that yes, post COVID-19, we have seen a great havoc in the industry. A lot of things did not happen the way we wanted, and operation management needs a great change, a great revolution post COVID-19. First thing that we felt as as a part of the service industry, we felt that a lot of things need to be changed. First of all, organization communication. We all are working at our own convenience. At we are working from home, so we need to streamline the organization communication, because 70% of the frontline works state that new communication tools increase their productivity, right? So it needs to be done. For example, I am being a part of service industry. We also manage our operations, be it service industry, be it in the plant, be it related to production or producing the products or the services. We all need a proper communication, so that we can synchronize all the activities, right, in the organization. That is the first point that I felt. Being a worker, I can say that communication needs to be streamlined. And then we can use many tools, like we have a mobile communication tool, we have a mobile application that if I talk about an organization where all the workers are working, we need some mobile communication tool. On an average, workers waste 3 hours of the working time per week looking for information. If you have 1,000 frontline employees, that's around 8,000 K, means $8 lakh on an average wasted every month simply looking for information to do the right job. So this is something, if we are having a handy information, we can speed up the production activities, right? And then I would say post COVID-19, many unprecedented events happened which we never imagined, right? So we need extreme efficiency through automation. According to the McKinsey report, heavy industry typically have highly fragmented field workforce that operate separately from the technology function. So this completely indicates that we need a highly efficiency automated technology that boosts up our pace. From my own experience, I would say earlier our operation management quite manual. We were filling the application form, and everything was being posted through mail. We used to send through the post, and only then our case were being logged in. But now, post COVID-19, everything had to be automated, right? We adapted the technical change very fast, and we could see Square Yard embark the highest sales last month. So this all could happen because we were ready with all the technical tools that we needed in this fast changing era. So I believe all those companies who are ready with the technical change to manage their operations, be it the service industry, be it the operations, like in the plant, the production capacity, to increase the production capacity. Every single industry needs to be adaptable, needs to be ready for the change, because we never know, COVID-19 is not something which will just stay now. It will, I think it will keep on going for next many years. And this certainly have taught us that we need to be ready for the unprecedented changes, right? Last but not the least, yes, emphasis on the health and safety has to be upgraded. We all know post COVID-19, we not just during the COVID-19 and post COVID-19, we have learned that health and safety is something which is foremost, right? We cannot compromise with this at all. In our different branch, our branch in Qatar, we did not, put more emphasis on health and safety, and we see the repercussions that 80% of our employees are ill. They are sick. They are on the bed. So this is something have taught us that while managing your operations, you have to emphasize on employees' health and safety. Along with that, we all need to upskill the frontline staff, because as the technology is changing, we keep on upgrading ourselves. Earlier, we used to have a face-to-face meeting with a client. We used to visit them, but now we are having a Zoom call, right? We are also managing our operations, our the value chain through the technology. So we need to upskill the frontline staff who is working on the ground. Be it any industry, be it manufacturing industry, be it service industry, be it education industry, any industry needs to be adaptable, needs to upskill the frontline staff. Over to you, Rachit sir. Thanks for giving me an opportunity to speak. And these were my views I observed during the COVID-19. And this is something which we need to adapt in our day-to-day life, being employees and the entrepreneurs. Thank you. Over to you, Rachit sir.
Thank you, Sachin. Really, you have added very valuable points in the role of communication, technology, especially the role of automation in the production and operation management, and give a clear picture about how businesses and production units should face this pandemic crisis and take it as an opportunity to grow. And you have given your valuable time to your juniors and make this webinar successful. I hope that whenever your juniors need your guidance and motivation, you will connect with us.
I'm always available, sir.
Thank you. Now, as this webinar is on completion, I would invite our director, sir, for vote of thanks.
Thank you, Professor Rachit. Say nowadays we can see it has always been for all practitioners and researchers to find out the way how to make organization more effective and efficient. So in order to achieve the goal of effectiveness and efficiency, organization always strive hard to manage their cost properly. See, organizations normally face two-pronged objective, I say. That one is to enhance the customer satisfaction and generate maximum revenue. And at the same time, they had to control their cost and be efficient. So for achieving both the objective, it is very important that we should take such decisions that make our cost and efficient one, it is minimized to an extent where quality is not compromised. And decision related to plant location and layout plays a very crucial role in deciding our cost aspect. So I hope this webinar was absolutely successful in achieving its objective to enhance our understanding related to the challenges we are facing in the area of plant location and layout and how such decisions are to be made. It was very well explained with a number of case studies. So I want to congratulate our Professor Rachit and his student team of student presenters who had deliberated upon this topic so well that we feel that it was extremely successful. So thanks all for all your effort for conducting this webinar. At the same time, I express my sincere gratitude towards our esteemed alumni of 17-19 batch, Mr. Sachin Kumar, who is currently located in Dubai, UAE, He's working so well. I'm really proud of you, Sachin. And
Thank you so much, sir. It's all your blessings. I
and
remember my
really,
struggling days. I remember my struggling days when I called you and I said like, sir, I'm really frustrated here, and now I'm really happy that I have grown so far, and I hope that I will keep on growing with your blessings.
thank you, thank you, Sachin. I knew that you will do great in your life. You have been very good student, and I appreciate your hard work and sincerity, and wish a very bright future for you. And especially, I'm thankful to you that at a very short notice, you accepted our request to be a part of this webinar. Uh-huh. Thank you, Sachin. I
Yeah, it's
express
my
my
pleasure, sir.
I express my sincere thanks to all my dignitaries of Dr. K.N. Modi Foundation, uh, especially our IT head, Manish sir, who has been throughout with us during this webinar and managing our show so well. Thank you, sir. I'm thankful to all faculty members and students of Dr. K.N. Modi Foundation. I could see many faculty from our K.N. Modi Institute of Engineering Technology MBA department. I'm really thankful to all of them for being with us during this webinar. And I hope we'll be conducting such webinar in future as well to enhance our knowledge. Thank you. Thank you all. Thanks.